morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by your favorite Allstate independent agent, Merlin Hildred. If you want insurance, all you have to do is to call Merlin. Her telephone number is 843-0811. It doesn't make any difference what kind of insurance. Merlin will take care of you. Do you know your insurance agent? Can you call your insurance agent? Can you go by your insurance agent's house? Will your insurance agent help you? I don't know. But I can say one thing. Merlin Hildred takes care of her clients. Today's program is a very special program because the pages of American history are filled with the lives of great men and women. Men and women who, through their sacrificial lives, have changed the course of American history. Some of these people have made headlines, but the majority, I want you to listen to me very carefully. The majority of them are like pages with no writing on it. They are known only to the God of the universe, a God that is aware of their accomplishments. So it is with the person that I shall dedicate this program today. Today's program is dedicated to Mrs. Marie Weekly, the owner of Petite Salon and the Clothes Closet. Quiet, dignified, hard-working, and just humble. A lady that has come to Oklahoma City and has established a business unlike any other business, meeting the needs of fashion-hungry people, meeting the needs of people that are concerned about how they look, whether we are talking about a hairstyle, a dress, a pants, or what have you. We are talking about Marie Weekly, and today is your program, Marie, because you are having that big sidewalk sale located at 1917 Northeast 24th Street. You are selling things from the clothes closet. Some of the things that are outside, she's asking 50% off. And on the inside, there are many things that you can buy for 25%. The sale started at 8 o'clock and it will last today until 4 p.m. This is the Clara Luper radio show. I would like to thank my daughter, Geraldine Downing. Yes, she's mine. I taught her, I trained her, and she's on her way now for carrying on for me last week. Last week I was at Langston University and the people were there. In spite of the rain, the people was at Langston University and they came from all across the country. So much has been done at Langston, and I would like for all of you to go out there. Look at the university. I want you to go through the dormitories. I want you to look at what has been done. A lot of people say, I wouldn't go to Langston University. Well, I wouldn't go no other place. Langston University is out of sight. And one thing about the students out there, they graduate from college. So many graduates, and they came there. They came in large numbers. Today we are going to tell you that the NACP Youth Council is planning to attend the state convention in McAlester, Oklahoma. And that convention will be next Friday and Saturday at the Ramada Inn in McAlester. The young people want to go, and I know you want them to go to the state convention, and that's why they are selling catfish dinners today. Those of you that want a catfish dinner, you didn't get one last week, you can go up. CP is there today, and he has volunteered to help the young people. And I think this is what we should do. The NACP Youth Council has left their footprints on the history of time. And every time you go into a restaurant or hotel or go into a theater where you can sit anywhere, you should think about the NACP Youth Council. And you should think about them today and go by and buy a catfish dinner from these young people. Elgina Sadberry is the president, and she is doing a terrific job. Lee Jones will be there, and incidentally, these young people will be performing in McAllister because of you. Now, some of you have helped all of the time, and some of you have said, Clara, I'm just praying for you. I want you to pray for me today, but in your prayers, I want you to ask God to give you enough wisdom and strength to come up and help the NACP Youth Council. Maybe you don't want a catfish dinner. Maybe you want to leave a dime of that to help some young person that's trying to make a difference to go. This is it. The dinner will start at exactly 10:30 a.m. today. This Mrs. Bosie Walker will be there. Mrs. Gloria Matthews, Mrs. Nancy Davis, Mrs. Leola Ford, Miss Wilma Ray, Mr. Burley and Nero, Calvin Luper, and others that are helping these young people. Now, you say to me, okay, Clara, I don't want to help the young people. I don't want a catfish dinner, but I want to help. Great! That's what we need. We need people that want to help with somebody else's children, because there are so many people just work with their children, and when their children grow up, they retire. The theme for the NACP State Convention is Preparing Tomorrow's Leaders Today. Preparing tomorrow's leaders today. Well, Coco says she's preparing herself. Coco is in the third grade now, and can she read? Yes. Coco will be one of the delegates to the state convention, and Coco will be selling pies today along with catfish and what have you. Today, then, I want to know where you stand. How do you feel about the NACP Youth Council? Are you going to be a part of it? Are you going to be an observer? Redeemer Lutheran Church will be observing its third annual revival on October the 28th through the 30th at 7 o'clock each evening. Now, that's October the 28th. Let's get those dates down. Through the 30th. The theme of the revival is Where Will You and the Church Be in the New Millennium? Reverend Raymond LeBlanc, the pastor of the First Lutheran Church of Carson, California, will be the guest minister for the 3-day affair. Reverend LeBlanc is an ordained Lutheran minister with more than 20 years of experience as a church builder, lecturer, and guest speaker in California as well as in other states. The Prince of Peace Lutheran Church of Tulsa, Oklahoma, will join the festivities on Friday. David Ewan and Sadie Davis will provide musical selections. The members and the friends of the Redeemer Lutheran Church are asking you to join in a spiritually motivated and inspiring revival. The church is located at 1525 Northeast Grand Boulevard in Oklahoma City. They have a special revival committee at the Redeemer Lutheran Church, which consists of Don Jones and Delphia Hawkins, according to Mrs. Jerry Coffey. Now, don't forget that's the Redeemer Lutheran Church as they observe their third anniversary. They call it a Mission Weekend Revival, and certainly Reverend LeBlanc is qualified. He has his bachelor's degree from Texas Southern, 20 years of Christ-centered ministry, has published many articles and received many honors. He's a speaker and a workshop leader, has developed programs for the youth of the community. A few minutes ago, I talked to Shelley, who's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I know you will be happy because tonight, Shelley Luper from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, will be the guest speaker at the Pennsylvania State Fighting Fund for Freedom Banquet. I really would like to go, but the tickets were a little high for me, and I couldn't make it. And this morning I called Shelley, and Shelley was so happy. And she wanted to continue to thank all of you that have been so kind to her through the years. You that listened to her as a little girl. You that taught her through the early days of her life. And she owes so much not only to you, but to people like Lola Greer and others that helped to mold her in the type of person that she is today. And she sends a special hello to her friends here in Oklahoma City. She will be back tomorrow, and she wanted you to know that she will be speaking probably to one of the largest fighting for freedom banquets in the United States because Pennsylvania State Conference has the one of, I think it's the second largest in the United States. All I can say, Shelley, is go places that I have never been and see things that I have never seen. And certainly you've done that because you told me about the breakfast that you attended yesterday and the reception and the people that picked you up at the airport. All I can say is, Shelley, we are proud of you. Well, today is a very special day, and I'm dedicating this program to Mrs. Marie Weekly. And I don't know how you feel about her, but I'm really excited about Miss Weekly. And I want you to go to that big sidewalk sale, 1917 Northeast 24th Street in Oklahoma City. Now, next week is a very serious week because we have a chance to elect people that are interested in us. And that's very, very important at this time. We have people that are extremely interested in us. They were interested enough to come out here to a predominantly black orientated station and say, I want to spend some political time out here. And you will be hearing from these people on and on. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and this part of our show is brought to you by Johnson's Shardina's Daycare. Johnson's Shardinas. Yes, I've been talking about the school system, and I told you all not to go out and vote for neighborhood school. I told you the neighborhood schools wasn't going to be nothing but segregated schools, and I have a lady on the telephone that whose son attends a neighborhood school. Hello?
Hello?
Miss Wiggly?
Yes.
Wiggly, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me about your son. Your son attends what school?
Moon Middle School.
Okay, tell me what happened to him.
I received a call. I called the school one day and talked to Mr. Matthews, and he told me my son was suspended for 45 days. And I asked him why. I said he had got 3 referrals. One referral was he didn't dress out in PE. And the coach told him to stand up against the wall in PE. And when he moved,
okay, will you turn your radio down so I can hear you better, please?
Hello?
Turn your radio down.
Oh, it's not on.
Okay, well, I'm getting an echo.
And so he got a referral for that. And so Mr. Matthews told me that he supposedly had assaulted the bus driver, threw a plastic bottle and hit him in the back of his head. And I asked him, I said, well, my daughter rides the same bus my son rides, and she told me it never happened. Some children that live on East Drive did that. So he said, well, the bus driver pointed your son out. Well, I was told by my son that 6 students were suspended for the same thing.
How could the bus driver, if the bus driver was driving the bus and the boy hit him in the back of the head, how could he determine who hit him?
That's what I told Mr. Matthews. And he said, well, he pointed your son out. I said, I don't believe that. And so 6 children got suspended for the same thing, and they're still out of school. My son has been out of school. Next week will be 5 weeks.
Wait a minute. Your son has been out of school how many weeks?
Next week will be 5 weeks.
For what now? Wait a minute. Let's see. What kind of crime did he commit?
It's supposed to assault the bus driver. And he told me that my son would be suspended for 45 days and that he's supposed to go to Bowface.
For 45 days?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, 45 days.
And he was supposed to go where?
Bowface.
Okay. Why did he go to Bowface?
Miss Luper, I don't have no idea. I've been calling the school every day, talking to Mr. Matthews. He asked me to come up there to bring my son's shot record. I took it up there at 9 o'clock one morning. And he said, well, I got everything I need. So every day went by, and I said, Mr. Matthews, they called. He said, well, he'll be going there that Wednesday. That was the second week in this month, the second Wednesday. And no one ever called us. And so I called him back, and he said, well, I've been calling them, but they get an attitude every time I call them back. And I asked him.
When you say they get an attitude, what do you mean?
He told me that the people at Bowface get mad at him for calling them, asking them when is my son coming to Bowface. And he said, well, it's out of our hands. There's nothing else we can do. So I told him, I said, well, Mr. Matthews, I'm going to take this further. I said, because this doesn't make any sense. My son cannot learn anything sitting at home. And he said, well, I agree with you. I agree with you. And he told me, well, why don't you call? I said, I shouldn't have to call because you are the one sending him there. You should take care of the situation. So I called the school board and asked to speak to the superintendent. They gave me Dr. Linda Teray's office. I left my name and number and asked the lady to have her to call me. This was this was Monday, this past Monday, and I said I called twice Monday, and she said, well, I said, well, ask her to call me before school is out. She said I will. I never got a call. I called back Tuesday morning.
Okay, did you call your board member, Thelma Parks?
Yes, ma'am. I called and left a message on her phone, but I never received a call.
Okay, you mean to tell me that you have a 14-year-old child that's been out of school for 5 weeks
Yes, ma'am.
because he didn't dress properly for PE?
And supposed to have started a bus driver.
But I can't see how the bus driver could determine who hit him if he was driving the bus, unless he was driving the bus looking back, and then that would be a threat to the safety department.
Well, that's what I suspended him. Said he had 3 referrals.
3 refers, and he was suspended. Who's the
Mhm.
principal down there?
Dr. Deborah Thomas.
Did you talk to the doctor?
Yes, ma'am. I talked
What
to
did
her.
the doctor say?
She told me to have my husband to come and talk to her.
Have your husband to come and talk to
Yes,
her.
ma'am. And he did. He went down there. He works at Lafayette Elementary School, and he went down there that Tuesday in September, the last week. I mean, the third week in September, and he talked to her when he got off from work. He left work and went right to Moon Middle School. And I told Mr. Matthews, he said, well, I need to talk to your husband too. I said, well, Mr. Matthews, my husband will be there to talk to Dr. Thomas. So,
Okay, now let me tell you something, young lady. You young people uh, don't have the backbone that I would like to see in you. There's no way in the world that nobody would suspend my child for 45 days. But see, what's actually happening, they are preparing your child to be nobody in the political and economic way. For example, if your child is not in school, missed 5 weeks, how can that child pass?
that's what I've been communicating with Mr. Matthews at Moon. And see, Miss Luper, I had this problem 2 years ago, and I took it to the board. I wrote Dr. LaSure a letter.
Okay, now, I don't want to know what happened 2 years ago. I want that child back in school.
I do too. And I've been going to Moon Middle School, talking to them. I've called the administration.
Okay, Oklahoma City, let's go to Moon Middle School. Let's go to the Board of Education. Let's get Chris back in school, because Chris might be our next doctor, our next lawyer, our next engineer. And you can't, just because a child refused to do something one time, oh, we have to make children do things. So I'm saying to the school system, and I'm saying to all of you that got children in these schools, let's get on the ball. I am tired of people suspending kids from school so they can go and do nothing.
Miss Luper, I even called the governor's office.
Well, that governor's office, that's a different branch of government. You need to deal with the Oklahoma City Board of Education, Moon, Dr. Thompson, and all these degrees and things, and they can't handle a 14-year-old boy. I'm going to have to let you go, Miss Wiggly.
Okay.
Your case has been out. Would you like to give your telephone number so some of the people from Moon School that will be suffering the same thing unless this is corrected, so they can contact you?
Yes, ma'am. My number is Erica 405-239-6706.
Come up to Freedom Center today and bring Chris with you, because we need Chris.
Yes, ma'am. What time?
They will start selling catfish at 10:30.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there.
Well, thank you so very kindly.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Okay, this is the Clara Luper Radio Show. This part of our show is being brought to you by Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King, where you can get that haircut. Mr. Gates started at 2609 North Martin Luther King on July the 7th, 15 years ago, and he is there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and he will cut your hair to suit you. If you want a haircut of the future, he can do it. Oh, it's time to buy groceries. Go to Hometown, 2001 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. If you're having trouble with your eyes, don't worry. Go to Dr. A.L. Dow, located at 934 Northeast 8th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. When we talk about the big sale at 1917 Northeast 24th Street and at the Clothes Closet in the Petite Salon, Mrs. Gloria Matthews can tell you all about it because Mrs. Weekly is her hairdresser. Yes, Mrs. Gloria Matthews can tell you all about it, and I can tell you all about Johnson Shardina's Daycare, 1643 Northeast 50th Street. And that's where your child gets that special care. If you want your child to get a head start, send your child to 1643 Northeast 50th Street. The telephone number is 424-4656 and or at 2611 North Martin Luther King, 427-5274. Mrs. Gloria Matthews has been in business longer than any other daycare in Oklahoma Center in Oklahoma City, and she knows how to take care of business. When we think of blacks in America, we think of Africa. And if you want some African clothes, go to Gideon's 300 store, located at 6006 Southwestern. They have African clothes, African food, African art, name it and they have it. Now that's at 6006 Southwestern in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Now for something that I want you to listen to. Listen.
It's Charles Hill, Oklahoma City, Charles Hill for District Judge. If you want your vote to count, Charles Hill for District Judge. Don't wait. On November the 3rd, be sure you cast your vote for Charles Hill, District Judge. Charles Hill is his name. He's qualified. He is experienced. He has all the qualifications, experience that he needs to become our next district judge. It's Charles Hill. On November the 3rd, make your vote count. Charles Hill for district judge. Paid for by friends of Charles Hill for district judge.
Charles Hill has earned his way. He has supported those of us that have been involved in fighting for freedom for you and for me. We cannot say to Charles Hill, we don't remember. We remember Charles Hill when you were on the police force, how you were able to help us when we couldn't help ourselves. I urge you to get out and vote for Charles Hill. And speaking of voting, we have a chance to elect 2 judges this year. And I want to hear from Don Davis. Don Davis. Go, Don, go.
Keep the dream alive. Equal justice for all.
Vote for experience. Elect Don Davis, District Judge, on November 3rd.
The position of district judge is not a place for on-the-job training. Don Davis is the right person at the right time for district judge.
A person with strength of character who will be involved in the administration of justice as well as in the application of justice.
Former municipal court judge, knowledgeable of the law, honest and impartial, will make the tough decisions. 30 years of trial experience, his practice in courts at all levels, best qualified.
Don Davis will represent all the people of Oklahoma County, men and women of all races and organizations.
Paid for by the committee to elect Don Davis.
Now you can vote for Don Davis and Charlie Hill. They aren't running against each other. So when you go to the polls, look for the names. Don Davis is running for a district judge and Charlie Hill. Now don't get it confused. I'm going to make it plain so you can understand. They aren't running against each other. We have a chance to elect 2 strong candidates for district judges. Now, I'm telling you, Charles Hill and Don Davis. Today is a very important day because I'm dedicating my program to a young lady that has class, that has climbed the ladder of success, that's concerned not only with your looks, but also with her church. She's a very active member of the Fifth Street Baptist Church, along with her lovely daughter, Donna. When you go by there today, be sure and tell them that you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. I promised you that I would keep you informed as to what was going on in this community. And I cannot keep you informed unless you tell me. Tell me what's going on. And if it's news wise, I will tell it and everybody will know about it. For example, everybody knows now that there's a big sidewalk sale at 1917 Northeast 24th Street. We're at the Clothes Closet. I have with me two beautiful young ladies, and they all dressed up in their sorority T-shirts, sweaters, and red and white. And here I am in my, I should have blue and white because everybody knows that I'm a Zeta, but all of the Deltas and the Sigmas and the AKAs are all my sisters, and I'm so proud of them. And today I'm proud of the Deltas. How are you Deltas today?
We're fine.
Just fine. Thank you very much.
And what is your name?
My name is Elaine Lewis.
Elaine, what position do you hold in the Delta Sigma Theta sorority?
I am the current president of
The
the sorority.
current president.
Yes.
Who was president before you?
Before me was Bonnie Roberts.
And you are the president. When were you elected president?
It was in 1996.
You've been president for 2 years?
Yes, this is my last year.
That's your last year. You're only elected for a 2-year period.
That's right, for 2 years.
Why were you elected president?
Why was I elected president?
Yes.
Because I'm concerned about the sorority. I'm concerned about our chapter. I could do the work in the sorority, and I think because like I said, I'm concerned about the sorority. And
Well, there are a lot of Deltas that are concerned about the sorority. That were not
I have the
elected as
energy
president.
to. I
You
had
have
the energy to do
the
it.
job. What difference have you made as a president of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority in Oklahoma City?
What difference?
Yes.
Well, we have gotten back to some of the basic things of our sorority. One of our slogans for this biennium has been getting back to basics. We're doing some of the public service that we always do, but we're doing more of it. And we're concerned about the youth, and so we're getting back to
You're telling me that you have brought the Delta Sigma Theta sorority back to the basics.
basics.
If you were re-elected, would you be re-elected?
Would I be reelected?
Yes or no? Would you
No.
be re-elected?
No.
Why?
I can only serve for 2 years at a time.
And that's the Constitution.
That's in the Constitution.
Oh, I see. That's really good. I know in Oklahoma Constitution, our governors can only serve for 2 years, and then we are hoping that one governor will not. Oh well, that's not here now. There. Okay, you are the president of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
How old is your sorority?
Our sorority is
Yes.
1913.
since 1913.
I didn't ask
We're-
you when you found. I just asked you a simple question. How old is your sorority?
see,
60 years.
60 years.
Our chapter is 60
Our
years.
chapter.
I'm talking about the
The
sorority. Because you're a part of that national group, and I saw the Deltas present one of the biggest checks to the NACP that I've ever heard of. They have really been active, and they have a coalition with the NACP. Yes,
We're 85 years old.
you're 85 years old. Well, that's really great. What are you doing this week as part of your Back to the Basics program?
Back to the basics. We are working on raising funds for our scholarship, and that's part of Back to Our Basics, working in the community, giving scholarships to our youth.
Giving scholarships to the youth?
Yes.
How would you go about applying for a scholarship?
You can talk to your counselors at the school, and they would have an application available for applying for our scholarship.
Okay, so you could go to your school if you're a senior in high school, right?
That's right,
And you can apply for a scholarship.
for a scholarship. Yes.
That's good for the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. So
Yes.
if you're at John Marshall, Douglas, or Northeast, all you have to do is to go in to the counselor.
Counselors,
And I hope the
yes.
counselors are informed.
They should be informed. We send out letters every year to our counselors, letting them know that we
What
have
kind
the
of
scholarships.
response? What kind of response do you get?
We get applications from all of the schools in the community.
About how many scholarships do you give every year?
We give on an average from 2 to 5 scholarships.
Oh, great. Okay, let's talk about what's going to happen this week because I'm in the mood. I am in the mood.
What's that?
Yes, tell me.
Some of the things that are going on Friday is our masquerade ball, our scholarship fundraiser, Miss Luper, and it will be held at Tinker Officer Club on Friday, October 30th, from 9 p.m. until 1 a.m.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we're getting really excited about it because we plan to have best costume contest, and those that want to get all dressed up in any kind of costume can feel free to do so and come out. We have door prizes for that. We will be serving hors d'oeuvres. Blind Chitlin will be our clown entertainment. We've talked to Mr. Hinton, Morris the Cat, and he will be there for those people that may want to purchase photographs for the evening and have their pictures taken.
Well, Catfish, if I were a judge, I would give them the first prize.
That's right.
Okay, so you're giving a prize for the best.
We're giving
costume.
door prizes for first, second, third place winners that would be selected and in their costume.
Are the Deltas competing?
Well, I'm not competing. The president's not going to compete. But
some
some of the Deltas
Some
are
of the
going to.
Deltas will compete, yes,
Yes,
but not the
how
not the
about
people
Miss
of the
Allen?
committee.
Not the
No,
committee.
I'm
Not
the
the committee
chairperson
members.
of the committee,
And not the
so
president.
I won the president. And I won't be competing, and none of the committee
We
members.
better tell our audience your name. We have not done that.
I'm Nanette Allen,
Okay, Nanette Allen, you are the
chairperson of the Scholarship Ball
Oh,
fundraiser.
oh, I see. Okay, what else? I know who will be there now entertaining.
Entertaining will be Blind Chitlin. He's a clown. He's real exciting. He keeps the crowd energized. So he will be there entertaining. We also have DJ Calvin Rice.
Well, will he make us laugh? That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah.
Because-
Blind Chitlin will make you laugh. He won't talk to you, but he will come over there and have you real excited and laughing and entertained.
Okay, you are saying that this is Friday night where?
Friday night. This will be at the Tinker Officers Club from 9 until 1 a.m.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'll be back with you in just a minute. In the meantime, we have a message from J.C. Watts Jr.
Congressman J.C. Watts, Oklahoma Values.
My mission from the day I was elected, I felt, was to go and represent Oklahoma values. And that's what I'm inspired by. Oklahomans understand community, they understand family, they understand faith, they understand hard work, character, and integrity. These are Oklahoma values, and I'm proud to represent those.
Congressman J.C. Watts, Oklahoma Leadership.
The measure of a man is not how great his faith is, but how great his love is. Character does matter.
Congressman J.C. Watts, Oklahoma Values, Oklahoma Leadership, Oklahoma Pride. Paid for by friends of J.C. Watts Jr. 98, Ed Preble, Treasurer.
We are so proud of the fact that our various candidates have taken time out to speak directly to you, the most intelligent radio audience in Oklahoma. I want to say to you that I'm counting on you to go to the polls and vote. We must vote in large numbers on November the 3rd. And I'm talking to members of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority that worked with other organizations. And those Deltas love catfish.
Yes, we
I
do.
I can see those Deltas coming up to Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King, all dressed up in that red and white saying, I want some catfish. But I can tell you Deltas one thing, the Zetas will be there today.
All right.
And the AKAs will be there eating
Good.
catfish, the Sigma Gamma
Gamma
Rose.
Rose. Good.
All of the Greek organizations have supported us through the years. What kind of support are you getting from other organizations?
We have organizations who come out and talk with us, buy our tickets. They give us support, and that's what we're asking too, that all of the Greek organizations, our brothers and sisters in Greek, and all of the organizations who are in public service to come out and help support us.
All right, what are you saying, Miss Chairperson?
Well, I'm saying that we would like to thank the community. The community has supported us over the years, and we'd like to thank them for their continued to support, and looking forward to seeing them on Friday, October 30th, and also our other Delta sisters that we see all the time and those that we may haven't seen in a while to come on out and let's network and communicate with each other and just have a good time Friday.
I would like for some Delta to call me out here at 672-1220 and tell me who your president is. And if so, do we have any tickets that we can give away? Can't we give away one ticket, Madam President? Oh, yes, we can give away one
We can give
ticket.
away one
We'll
ticket.
give away one
Okay,
ticket.
the first one called me. I'm going to see to it that you get a ticket to this big affair. And once you get a ticket, you can take 5 more people and we can go to town.
All right.
Yes, this is the Clara Luper Radio Show. And this portion of our show is brought to you by Leo's Barbecue, located on 36th and Kelly. Charlie say he has a barbecue factory and he will give you all of the barbecue that you want. Yes. And hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, this is the Delta that is calling that you asked to call.
Okay, you are Delta?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your name?
Louise Elkins Alexander.
Louise Alexander.
Yes,
That's my girl. Louise, you are a Delta.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Not only that, you are more than a Delta. I know you have had a regional office in the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Oh, good. Tell me about it.
Well, Delta Sigma Theta is the largest sorority.
Now, wait a minute here.
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
what?
Yes, ma'am, it's the largest.
Okay.
Yes. We were founded on the University of Howard University, and we had 22 founders, and we are getting ready to celebrate our 86th year in January of 1999. So we're very excited, and we continue to do good works in the community. And it's because of the community support that we have had and we look forward to having in the next millennium.
Well, I am so proud of you. Let me tell you, Delta, something. You know, she's a member of my church, and she's on my Black History Committee, and she cannot hardly wait to get on that committee. She is just a very nice person, and I can say some of my best friends are Deltas. However, I say to you, the Zeta Phi Beta sorority is the largest sorority in the United
Well, you know what?
in the United
Well, you
States.
know what, Sister Clara, I can say, too, that some of my best friends are Zetas, and I can name 2.
All right, all right, all
Two
right.
come to mind readily.
All right. Well, thank you so very kindly. And you see your president and get your ticket here.
Yes, ma'am, I sure will.
Well, thank you so very kindly for
Uh-huh.
calling. And we are getting ready for that big celebration on Friday night. And that will be at Tinker Ave.
Officers Club.
How do you get into Tinker? You didn't tell me that.
They will, the guards will know that there's a function going on, and if they stop you, you just let them know that you will be going to the function at the Officers Club, and they will pass you through.
You know, it was really surprising to the people in the state of Oklahoma when J.C. Watts Sr. became the Democratic nominee for the Labor Commissioner, becoming the first one of his race to do so. And let's hear from J.C. Watts Sr. Let's see what he's saying, and I know you would be going to the polls to vote for J.C. Watts Sr.
J.C. Watts for Labor Commissioner, a hardworking man for the hardworking men and women of Oklahoma. Vote J.C. Watts for Labor Commissioner on November the 3rd. Paid for by the committee to elect J.C. Watts for Labor Commissioner.
This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and today's show is one of excitement. I have the Deltas here, and you're getting ready. What are you getting ready to do, Madam President?
We're getting ready to have our monthly meeting today.
Well, you make an announcement to those Deltas. Say, Deltas, you are cordially invited to come to Freedom Center as part of your youth dedication program and eat some catfish.
I certainly will.
Well, thank you so very kindly for being my very distinguished guest today.
You're very welcome.
I know that it will be quite a success on Friday night.
And thank you so
for
much.
having us.
Oh, thank you so very kindly. Now you can tell people that you've been on the Clara Luper
Show. That's right.
Right. This is the Clara Luper Show. Calvin, why are you so happy this morning?
Mom, I'm so happy this morning because I'm in the company of two beautiful Deltas, one beautiful
And
Zeta.
you better say that.
And I'm live and in living color here on the best radio show on the entire nation, in the entire nation, at the best radio station in the nation, and Loretta and Leroy here. And I tell you, this is actually a great day. And during our last conversation with Mrs. Alexander, Cynthia Youngblood called, and we didn't let her on.
But Cynthia is Cynthia
Cynthia-
Delta?
I don't know. She didn't say what she was, but she wanted you to know that she knows the answer to the question that was asked. But it's a
Oh.
beautiful show, and it's a pleasure to be here. And this Saturday, it is really a pleasure to be dry and in Oklahoma City. However, I wish I was back out at Langston University, where we had a great time at homecoming activities. We missed a lot of people, but a lot of people missed the game. But we had a good time, and I'm looking forward to today at Freedom Center, where CP is cooking catfish again. And we will be working there with the Youth Council. Those of you who would talk with us at the fair and at Langston, you know that periodically we are at the Freedom Center helping the members of the NACP Youth Council do their thing and get ready to do their thing, which this week we're getting ready to go to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
No, we are going to McAlester, Oklahoma.
McAlester. Well, see, I
tell
don't,
her right.
you know, I don't like mentioning that name, McAlester, even though it's a beautiful city. But so many things happen in McAlester that sometimes I do tend to have a mental block on McAlester, Oklahoma. But we are getting ready to help the Youth Council do that. We invite you to come by the Freedom Center, where it's starting promptly at 10 o'clock. Catfish dinners will be on sale. And Mom will tell you a little more about that.
Tell me more, please.
Yeah, I said, I thought you were going to, okay.
No, you can
I
tell.
misread your expressions there. But then have no fear, it will be at the Freedom Center starting at 10 o'clock, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Great catfish. The dinners come heaping with French fries and a delicious coleslaw, cooked by none other than CP himself of CP's Catfish fame. And we're looking forward to doing what we can to make sure that the Youth Council members have a productive and a safe trip, and a trip where they have an opportunity to show those AXO awards that they won at the National Convention. And we're looking forward to it. We hope you'll be there. If you're not there, send somebody up to get your dinners or your, I would say gumbo, but I don't know, Gumbo won't be there today, regretfully. But the Catfish will be there, and we want you to be there. Freedom Center, 2609, starting at 10 o'clock. And I want all of you to stay tuned. And like I always say when we are here on the radio, make sure that you told that friend and told that neighbor to be a part of this radio show, because you might have won an opportunity to be out at Tinkerfield with the Deltas.
Well, I want Cynthia Youngblood to call me back, because I want to know. I want to know something about Cynthia.
Okay, well, she's heard it. But Mom, you have some more things that we want to discuss this morning, don't we?
Of course, we have some more things.
For instance, what shall we talk about now? We've covered the schools. We know what the Deltas are doing. What would we like to talk about?
Let's talk about the state convention in McAlester. Reverend D.C. Knighton will be one of the speakers. He's a pastor of the East Star Baptist Church. And the luncheon will be at the Ramada Inn, the youth luncheon, and the speaker will be the Honorable City Councilman Joe Williams from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The youth registration is $5 and the luncheon is $15. And those of you that can't go, maybe you would like to send a youth to represent you. I would like to invite you, all of you out there, to come on. You support me, because you know when I die, you won't be up there reading the resolutions with Clara Luper. You better resolve that you come up there and buy some catfish to help the children. Oh, we are very excited. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
This is Cynthia Youngblood.
Cynthia Youngblood, are you a Delta?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, great. I didn't know that, Cynthia. And I want to congratulate you for being a Delta. Do you know who your president is?
Yes, I do.
And who's your president?
Diane Lewis.
Is she a good president?
Yes, she is.
And are you out working to support this program on Friday night?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll see you on Friday night, Cynthia.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this is a Clara Luper radio show, and I told you all when you segregated the schools that you're going to be in trouble, and we are in trouble. We are in trouble. And you Deltas, come to see me, please.
Will.
And come by and see me and come out to my lake. I have a lake, Lake Clara. Okay, I'm going to give you the address of Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King, and you come by there after that meeting and get you some catfish.
We would do that.
Okay, well, you heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority say they will do that, and they are going to come by. And if they don't, I'll tell you next week that one of the dignified, beautiful officials of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority told her she's coming by, and she did come by, or she didn't. I will tell you anyway. Miss Allen better be there. Robert Allen always buys our catfish. He never misses that opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, you will have the opportunity to go out and vote for a real judge. You will have the opportunity to go out and vote for Don Davis and Charlie Hill. You will have that opportunity. Don't miss that opportunity. And no, look at the facts yourself. You will have the opportunity to do it. When we go to McAllister next week, Reverend D.C. Knighton of the Eastside Baptist Church will be one of the ministers that will welcome us. Mr. Richard Allen from Poto, Oklahoma is the state president. The youth address will be delivered by the city councilman from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that would be worth your going. If you would like to go with us, we are chartering a bus because you're going to buy catfish today that will enable us to charter a bus. And you will be able to say that I was part of it. Don't miss the opportunity to help someone. Talk is one thing, but you got to not only talk, you got to walk. Miss Grant has called to wish us good luck today as we continue to try to raise money to help our young people. The greatest invention, the greatest opportunities that you have are wrapped up in your young people. And those of you that will be with me today, why don't you give me a call, 672-1220, and say, we are supporting the young people. Now, a lot of times we wait till people die, and then we got all these good words to say about them. They can't hear one word. I don't want you to do me like that. All I want you to do for me is support the young people and respect and help the old people. That's what I want you to do, because the senior citizens are very, very important. Calvin, tell me about it.
Mom, I'm more than anxious to tell you about it. What we're going to do, let's see if we can do a marathon right here on our political advertising. You know, I think Loretta's ready over there, and the first ad we're going to run is going to be one of the candidates that we want to remind everyone that you got to go to the polls and vote. So, Loretta, let's try this ad.
Okay.
It's Charles Hill, Oklahoma City, Charles Hill for district judge. If you want your vote to count, Charles Hill for district judge. Don't wait. On November the 3rd, be sure you cast your vote for Charles Hill, district judge. Charles Hill is his name. He's qualified. He is experienced. He has all the qualifications, experience that he needs to become our next district judge. It's Charles Hill. On November the 3rd, make your vote count. Charles Hill for district judge. Paid for by friends of Charles Hill for district judge.
Okay, Loretta, that's Charles Hill who's running for district judge. Now, this next ad we're going to run is just as important, if not as important. So let's go with that one, and let's hear what this candidate that needs your vote has to say this beautiful morning.
Keep the dream alive. Equal justice for all.
Vote for experience. Elect Don Davis, district judge, on November 3rd.
The position of district judge is not a place for on-the-job training. Don Davis is the right person at the right time for district judge.
A person with strength of character who will be involved in the administration of justice as well as in the application of justice.
Former municipal court judge, knowledgeable of the law, honest and impartial, will make the tough decisions. 30 years of trial experience, his practice in courts at all levels, best qualified.
Don Davis will represent all the people of Oklahoma County, men and women of all races and organizations.
Paid for by the committee to elect Don Davis.
So there we have it. Now, those are two different candidates for two different judgeships, and you can vote for both of them. But then coming up next is an outstanding candidate that you definitely have to keep on your mind, and that when you get in that polling place, you make sure that you vote for them. Let's go with it. Let's hear who this candidate is that wants you to know about what they're doing and what they plan to do to help you.
J.C. Watts for Labor Commissioner, a hardworking man for the hardworking men and women of Oklahoma. Vote J.C. Watts for Labor Commissioner on November the 3rd. Paid for by the committee to elect J.C. Watts for Labor Commissioner.
Well, we got a roll going here, but we're talking about candidates that have your interests at heart. This last candidate, I know that you are interested in it, but the big thing is to remember November the 3rd, when you get there to the polling place, and make sure you get there, that you vote. We're suggesting to you that you vote for this young man that's we'll be talking to you next.
Congressman J.C. Watts, Oklahoma Values.
My mission from the day I was elected, I thought, was to go and represent Oklahoma values. And that's what I'm inspired by. Oklahomans understand community, they understand family, they understand faith, they understand hard work, character, and integrity. These are Oklahoma values, and I'm proud to represent those.
Congressman J.C. Watts, Oklahoma Leadership.
The measure of a man is not how great his faith is, but how great his love is. Character does matter.
Congressman J.C. Watts, Oklahoma Values, Oklahoma Leadership, Oklahoma Pride. Paid for by friends of J.C. Watts Jr. 98, Ed Preble, Treasurer.
Okay, there we have it. There were 4 dynamic candidates. And, Mom, we have a young lady that's on line 1 that's anxious to talk with you.
Mrs. Pickens?
And she will be on in just a second here. And she's anxious to talk with you and tell you what's going on with her. Good morning, Mrs. Pickens. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Calvin. How are you?
Fantastic,
and Mrs. Luper
Mom.
this morning.
What's going on, Mrs. Pickens?
I just wanted you to let Oklahoma City know that Evelyn J. Robinson, Chapter 147, Order of the Eastern Star, is presenting Kaleidoscope 98, a fall and winter fashion show at the Midwest City Community Center at 100 North Midwest Boulevard from 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and the donation is $5.
When?
Today.
Today?
Yes.
And that
Where is it?
At Midwest City Community Center.
Well, Mrs. Pickens, let's start all over there. Now, this is the Eastern Star.
Yes.
And
Evelyn J. Robinson, Chapter 147, Order of the Eastern Star, is presenting a Kaleidoscope 98 Fall and Winter Fashions at the Midwest City Community Center at 100 North Midwest Boulevard today, October the 24th, from 2 till 5 p.m., and the donation is $5. And they can call any member for a ticket up until 12:30, and we will be there.
Okay, well, thank you.
Refreshments and door prizes are being served. We are featuring June Carter in song, and Wilma's Hats and Accessories, and Susan Wilson's Accessories.
Well, thank you so very kindly.
And
Mrs.
thank
Pickens.
you.
This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and this show was dedicated to a friend of mine, Miss Marie Weekly. I would also like someone that's calling want to know if Miss Maxine Stale will be there today. Yes, she will be there. Miss Maxine Stale is one of our youth advisors and always on the job. She'd better be there. Well, let me tell you what that catfish will do for you. If you eat catfish, you will have something to talk about the rest of the day. I know my sorority sisters will be there after that catfish. I can see Miss Freddie Stevens walking in there now saying, Sarah Luper, I'm ready for my catfish. But Calvin, it's birthday time and people miss you so much.
Well, Mom, they know where I've been, and they know that I've been at the State Fair and then out at the Great Langston University doing those homecoming activities. And we've tried, we've done it, but we're back here in the studio now. We're really glad to be back. Now, I have several, but I have three outstanding people whose birthdays have been celebrated today and this past week. One is a young man named Don Nelson. Another is a young man who's one of the first black firefighters here in Oklahoma City, and that is Melvin Franklin. I have another person, Spotwood. Spotwood is Mrs. Spotwood, and she's celebrating her birthday this week.
She
today.
celebrated last week with a big party
Okay.
was given by.
And then today is a very special birthday for none other than Mrs. Ruth Allen, the mother of Lynette Allen, and I forgot Allen's name, her son's name, Robert Allen. And Robert Allen's mom and we're celebrating that birthday. And then also a very special young lady whose birthday I'm happy to sing today, and that's Mrs. Bosie Walker,
Well, sing it for
who's
Bosie
celebrating her
Walker.
birthday.
All
So
right.
sit back, relax, and settle down, and tell that friend and neighbor that here come the We Can't Sing originator singing the song of songs. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bosie Walker. Happy birthday, Ruth Allen. Happy birthday, Melvin Franklin. And Don Nelson, and also Mrs. Spotwood. Happy birthday, and may you have many, many more.
Gladys Elliott's having a birthday too.
Well, we'll get that. Okay, you want that now?
Yes, give it to
Gladys
Gladys.
Elliott. Happy birthday, and may you have many, many more.
This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show was dedicated to Marie Weekly. They're having that big sidewalk sale. And once again, all you have to do is to go there and you buy the things that you need. And whatever you do, there's a family Cephas Hall says what, Calvin?
Well, Mom, they're having Cephas' services today, and we just wanted to express our Cephas passed, and they're having the services today at Shiloh Baptist Church.
Okay.
Just wanted to express our condolences to the family.
This is Clara Luper saying I got to say goodbye. I hate to say goodbye, but I got to say goodbye. I'll see you at Freedom Center and at the Clothes Closet, 1917 Northeast 24th Street. And Marie, this was your show. Bye-bye.